What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video I would like to talk about a very simple trick, something that once you understand how this works, you understand why it makes sense, um, you can avoid making bad investments in crypto. Now, you might not avoid every bad investment ever. I'm not saying that you will never make mistakes in crypto, but this is a simple trick to identify a very classic form of bad investment whenever it does come to crypto. So if that sounds good to you, hit the like button, subscribe. And again, this is flawless. What I'm about to share with you is flawless. It's not sophisticated. Anybody can do it, right? If you don't have to be an analyst, you don't have to have a college degree. You just need eyeballs, okay? If you're blind, get somebody to read it for you, because this is stuff that anybody has access to. It's free, and this is information that you can clearly see. All right, I'm going to go over a bunch of different projects that are clear money grabs, that are clear money grab projects, and that there's zero doubt in my mind from the day that I first heard about them to today. There's been zero doubt in my mind that they're money grabs, and we're going to go over why each of these are money grabs. And that doesn't mean that they're not going to be prominent in this crypto space. That doesn't mean they don't have a place here. That doesn't mean there's not money to be made with these projects. But as an investor myself, I look for projects that I grab money from, not that grab money from me and my constituents. I look for something that will perform at the very least above average, what the average altcoin is going to do. If a coin can't even keep up with the average pace of the average altcoin, what's the purpose in investing in it for me? I don't want anything to do with it, right? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why not just invest in Bitcoin or something like that? All right, let's get into this. Okay, so first and foremost here, we're going to be looking at coin market cap. I have a bunch of different coins brought up, and I want to point out some stuff here. Okay, notice that Hyperliquid, and I like Hyperliquid. I've used Hyperliquid. I think it's a great product. I think it's got a place now. Will it be here in 10 years? I don't know, but it's clearly a money grab. How do we know that it's a money grab? Well, if we look first at the circulating supply, there's 334 million hype. The total supply is about 1 billion hype. Okay, so there, about a third of the total supply is in circulation right now. Hyperliquid came out almost a year ago in November, actually the very end of November in 2024. So it's not even a year old, and its market cap is 14.5 billion. Okay, that doesn't mean it's a money grab in itself. Sometimes, projects take off in a year. They go from 100 million to a 14.5 billion dollar market cap. It's crazy when that happens, but it happens in crypto. But this thing didn't come out at a $100 million market cap. No, it came out at a multi-billion dollar market cap valuation. And I remember, I forget whenever it got listed on whatever exchange it was, but I remember, I think it was the 15th of December that year, I was saying stay away from this thing. It's a week old, and it's already at a $6 billion valuation. It's clearly a money grab. And it's up a lot higher now. It's at a 14, but it went down a lot, right? You went down a lot. I'm surprised it didn't go down more. It didn't go down more because it wasn't. It was a bit of a money grab. Don't get me wrong. There's definitely some selling going on there. Probably insiders, people part of the team, that the people with the large supply, they're selling on those and exchanges, of course, that they're selling. But it's remained relevant. It's remained highly used, right? It's got some of the most transactions in the space and volume in the space as far as its ecosystem is concerned. But still, at a $14.5 billion market cap, this thing will never see $100 billion. It's not that it'll never see $100 billion. It will not see a $100 billion market cap in its first cycle. Nothing ever does. It's very rare. And I don't care how much money. I was watching a video. Somebody was talking about Hyperliquid. We're not going to spend too much time on this, but I'm just making sense out of this one real quick. Someone was talking about how Hyperliquid sees $30 billion of revenue a year, or is it a month, or whatever it is. How are they worth only $14.5 billion right now? How are they not worth more? And the answer there is that whenever you get to money that's at like $50 billion, $100 billion, right? That's a lot of cash. And if your token's going to be worth that, you have to have people who are buying your bags who have a lot of cash, who have a lot of conviction. You have to have basically institutional investments going on, because retail's not going to get you there alone, right? Or at least not at a sustainable path. $100 billion is a lot of money. And the way that I rationalize it is, to get to that level, you have to have some kind of institutional backing, right? Like XRP or Ethereum. And those were the very only cryptos that have ever seen $100 billion in their first cycle. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying we've only had two. Not even Bitcoin did it in its first cycle, right? You have to, because in its first cycle, we didn't have institutional backing. It was the second cycle that came along, right? $100 billion and more, at least for now, until inflation continues to rise, is something that's really only attainable if you're more sound, right? Or a complete scam and the price is inflated and it's fake, right? But if it's sound, you get to that level. How do you know if something's sound if it hasn't even existed through a bear market yet, right? Institutions are not putting their money, maybe they're dipping their toes a little bit, but they're not putting serious money into projects like this because they're too new. And you'll hear any experienced investor say the same thing. Any experienced financial head, any hedge fund managers, and any kind of, they say the same thing. It doesn't matter how much promise a project has; it needs to stand the test of time. Standing the test of time is the most important thing, because seeing how you do in the good times is one thing, but where wealth is really attracted is seeing how something performs in the bad times, right? Give them an opportunity to get in. Show them that, oh, it's bad times now. You've gone through some kind of correction, massive losses, and you're still here and you're still building and you're coming back even stronger. Not getting flushed out on the first sign of wind kicking up, right? If that happens, why would institutions put a lot of money into you? So institutions are not putting money into, or at least serious money into projects like this, just for that example. But again, very clearly, when something comes out at a multi-billion-dollar valuation, understand you're already setting yourself up, if you're investing in something like this, to not see even average returns for what the crypto market has to offer. Okay, I hope that makes sense. SWI is the next one. All right, now SWI is a little bit of a different story. This one came out at less than $1 billion market cap, but that was back in May of 2023. Less than a year later, it was already worth multiple billions of dollars. I wouldn't say SWI is so much a money grab for that reason, but if we look at the total supply again, $10 billion or 10 billion SWI versus 3.5 billion SWI, the people who are making money here are not the people who are investing, but the people who are participating in the ecosystem. Which is why SWI and coins like Hyperliquid that have such a undiluted supply have a lot of marketing going on, because these marketers have tokens that are unlocked. They promote the product, the coin goes up 2x, 5x, whatever. They're making a lot more than that on their marketing, just on mentioning it, right? You've got all these big people talking about it because they're being paid to talk about it. And when these coins are released, when these locked coins that are in the supply are released, you, the investor, you might get a 2x or a 10x, but these guys are making hand over fist, cash over fist money, right? So it's not a money grab in the sense that it came out at a multi-billion-dollar valuation, though it shortly thereafter achieved that. But it is a money grab in the sense that it's being promoted by people who are being paid to promote it. It's being promoted by people who are being paid to promote it through tokens that will be unlocked and will be dumped on the people who are buying it, the investors. And since it's at an $11 billion market cap now, the chances that it will even see a 10x between now and the end of the cycle are minimal. Very minimal. Absurdly minimal. Like 99% chance that you will not see that happen. And let's say you do. Let's say you get to $100 billion. Are you going to get to $200 billion? Even if you get to $200 billion, you're barely underperforming the average altcoin expectation. The altcoin expectation we have for the average coin by the end of the cycle is a 20x. Okay, between now and when things kick up to the end of the cycle, it's a 20x. You're not going to get to a $200 billion with this thing. Not with this thing. Especially with all the unlocks that are happening. Absolutely not, right? This is a money grab. And it's a money grab for the people who participate in the ecosystem. If you're participating in the ecosystem, you get to grab some of that money. Good for you. But as an investor, it doesn't attract me, right? Very simple. Do you see what we've looked at so far on these last two? Total supply, circulating supply. What's the market cap worth in its first cycle? What's its market cap currently worth right now? And also, as we progress through this specifically, what did it come out at? What was its listing at, right? What was it? What did it ICO at? Because anything that ICOs at a multi-billion-dollar market cap, it's a money grab. There's no doubt in my mind. Pepe. Now, Pepe was on Dex Screener. It was a Dex coin and still is to some degree before it got listed on exchanges. When it got listed on exchanges, however, it was at a $1.48 billion market cap. Notice how we don't have it here. We don't have all the data here. But when Pepe was on decentralized exchanges exclusively, that's when it saw most of its growth. Ever since it's been on exchanges, it really hasn't grown that much. And why? That's because the exchanges are the ones who are profiting off of this now. They're selling it to you, right? This thing, it's at a $4 billion market cap. It made a multi-billion-dollar valuation within its first year of existence a coin like this, again, is not going to it's not going to grow. Here, though, your total supply is the circulating supply. So in that sense, the people to make money are the investors in this, but the people who are the primary holders of Pepe right now are not the retail. Let's just leave it at that. They're the big dogs in crypto. People who are promoting this project specifically so that it pumps up a few more X's. It doesn't need to pump up 20X or 30X for them to make cash over fist, right? They are literally or cash hand over fist. How does it go? I don't even know that expression, but an absurd amount of cash, right? An absurd amount of cash. But Pepe, I'm addressing Pepe. Essentially, what I'm doing here is also talking about not just how to identify projects that are going to be disappointments and are clear money grabs, but I'm also addressing projects that I think are maybe not good investments this cycle. If you're in the crypto markets, like, why would you invest in these coins? They already came out. World Liberty Financial, brand new. This is a perfect example of a money grab. Shout out to Donnie T. If we're looking at it, you're at a $6.1 billion market cap and you just got listed today. You came out at a $10 billion valuation and here you are at a $6.1 billion valuation. Your total supply is 100 billion WLFIs, and you are about a quarter of the way there in the circulating supply. The people who are making money on this project are not you, are not the investors. No. Maybe you, if you're part of the team, if you're part of the initial investment round, startup rounds team, the price could drop 50% from here, and you're still making money. But that's the whole point. Projects like this, and I'm not saying it won't see new all-time highs. I think WLFI will probably be worth maybe multiple dollars by the end of the cycle, probably. We're at 25 cents. You're going to be worth $2. It's not even a 10x. That's not even a 10x, and you may or may not get there. You know, like that's not incentivizing to me as an investor, right? Total supply, circulating supply, coin market cap. It's very simple, right? I clicked on the market cap here, so we're looking at the market cap, not the price. Very, very simple and a clear money grab. $6.1 billion. This thing is going to drop probably below $1 billion in market cap valuation before it comes back up. It's going to dump hard. You're going to have the initial, the people who are getting their tokens unlocked, they're just going to dump because why would they hold? They've held long enough. Their tokens have been locked up long enough. Any unlock event creates selling pressure. As the price goes down, it creates more selling pressure. Anybody that bought the high, they're going to panic sell. It creates more panic selling pressure. It's going to go lower. It's mark my words, this is probably one that you should stay away from. Especially right now. If you want to invest in it, don't do it here. But really, all of these you should probably stay away from. Pi. Everybody loves Pi. And I know that Pi's existence came about long before February of 2025. But something happened here. Pi got acquired by somebody with a lot of money. It was a community-backed token, but then somebody with a lot of money put their money into it. It's not the same as it once was anymore. And I said this back here in February. I said this back here, that this thing would likely go to zero and that it's no longer the same coin. Treat it like it was acquired by somebody and now they're just selling to you. Whenever as a new coin, essentially, since February, and I know it's existed for multiple cycles already, but essentially it is a new coin since February. It came out at a multi-billion-dollar valuation, right? The circulating supply to the total supply is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Who's going to make money on this project? It's not you. It's not the investor. It's the people who are participating in the ecosystem, the people who are behind the project itself, the people who are already involved. It's not you, right? Multi-billion-dollar valuation. I made a video, I forget when it was, but I made a video somewhere back in February talking about this. And, well, I'm going to just, spoiler alert, it doesn't stop here. It's going to keep going lower, right? This thing was worth like not even $100 million, and it jumped all the way up to a near $20 billion valuation. You're telling me that you're telling me that there's not still money to be made from it being here at a $2.7 billion valuation? They can sell a lot, and they probably will sell a lot. Token unlocks create selling pressure, all that stuff, right? Story, IP Story, same thing. This one came out at a low market cap actually, but really shortly thereafter hit a high market cap, and notice how it just hasn't grown much since, right? You've doubled. You've done all right. You're at a $2 billion market cap now, but again, that whole idea that you're probably not going to see the average coin's growth this cycle. You're probably going to underperform the average coin this cycle. Total supply, 1 billion. Circulating supply, 300 million. It's got a third. Who's this going to benefit? It's going to benefit the people who the token gets unlocked for, right? So not you, not the investor, right? You can have small benefits. I'm not saying that any of these projects, in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if all of these projects by the end of this cycle saw, maybe not Pi, but saw higher prices than their all-time highs are currently at. I wouldn't be surprised. But they're all clearly money grabs. All of these so far are money grabs. We go over Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins. I remember back in December, people were laughing at me. I think it was like December 22nd or December 18th. It was at this low. It went up a little bit and then it dumped. And I was saying the same thing, the same exact thing. Stay away. It's a clear money grab. You don't know anything about this. You think it's a money grab. You don't know the people behind the project. I don't need to. It's worth $2 billion in its first week. You're telling me that they're not going to sell? Dude, they're human beings, bro. Come on. This is crypto. You should learn your lessons by now. It's so obvious. It's faultless. It's flawless. And it dumps. This is actually a miracle that it came out at $2 billion and it still went higher. That's actually a miracle. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. But still, the amount of performance, even from here to here, is suboptimal compared to what you can find in the crypto markets, right? Hyperliquid's kind of a one-off in that sense. But still, again, the total supply, circulating supply, what it's worth now, it's a money grab. And it's not for you. It's not for the investor to grab. It's for the early round investors, for the team to grab. Not for you, though. $2 billion. No, sorry. Pudgy Penguins here at $1.7 billion. Total supply is 88 billion. You're at 62 billion. The circulating to total is nice. It's a little bit nicer than what we've seen so far. Still some unlocks to happen that'll benefit the people who are initial investors, right? The team. But then also, and I think Pudgy Penguins has a place. I think that it'll be here for the long term. I think it'll even exist in next cycle. It's not your average meme coin by far. I'm aware of the fundamentals behind it, but it came out at a multi-billion-dollar market cap, and I was saying the same thing here that I'm saying about WLFI, that this thing's going to drop a lot, man. I said the same thing here. I was laughed at. Understand, guys, I'm pulling up all these projects because I've been laughed at every single one of them. I've had people in my comments on YouTube telling me that I'm wrong, that I'm stupid, that I don't know what I'm talking about, and every single one of them dropped from the point that I made my video saying the same stuff, right? I'm talking about WLFI specifically now. This thing has a lot of dropping to go, right? Pudgy Penguins is back up. It's going to grow. It's going to continue to grow. But I'm just saying the reason why I've been right and all these trolls or haters or disbelievers were wrong is because I have experience. This is my third bull market. I've seen this happen before. I've invested in the projects that everybody markets, but that's the key point here, right? We go to official Trump. Let's wrap this up. Same thing. Clear money grab. Why? Tell me. Tell me. First day, $10 billion market cap almost. Total supply is 999. The circulating supply is not even a fifth of that yet. It's about a fifth of that, I guess, right? But over here, it wasn't even a fifth of it. We've got so many unlocks to go. Who's it going to benefit? It's not you. It's not you. So avoid these money grabs, right? There are plenty of projects in crypto. The reason why people get attracted to these money grab projects to begin with is because they are marketed very well, right? They don't get to these valuations right off the bat without some serious funding backing them up, and they use that serious funding for marketing. Marketing, all savvy businesses know that marketing is very important, right? People are easily influenced. They don't look at the hard data. They hear somebody on YouTube say, hey, this is a great project, invest in this. It could go up this high. Even if they know they're speaking out of their ass and they're lying through their teeth, it could go this high. Maybe SWE will be worth $1,000, but probably not. Maybe SWE will be worth $100, but probably not. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to happen. Same thing with a lot of these coins. They're not going to, I would bet that every single coin that we just looked at right now and let me go over them right now. From Hyperliquid to SWE to Pepe to WLFI to Pi to Story IP to Pudgy Penguins and official Trump. There's probably more that I'm missing, but I bet that every single one of them underperforms the average altcoin this cycle. I bet all of them underperform the average altcoin. I bet none of them see a $100 billion market cap by the end of this cycle at all. And if they do, it's because they've unlocked more tokens, and even if they see an over $100 billion market cap, they won't see new all-time highs, or they won't see a price growth that reflects that growth in market cap. Does that make sense? Because of the supply unlock. But I hope you guys took something away from this. I know that it might have seemed a little bit boring, just kind of mundane going over that stuff, but I really wanted to drive home the point that it's simple. And you're not going to avoid every bad investment in crypto with this, but you'll at least avoid the obvious money grabs. You'll at least avoid the thing that the average participant is all jazzed up about and psyched about, and they put their money in at the top, and then they're the bag holders, right? You'll avoid that mistake because you'll know that, okay, it's marketed, right? These guys are being paid to market it. All of these guys are being paid to market it, right? If anybody's talking about any of these projects on a daily basis, besides me, because I don't get paid to talk about things. I just talk about things I want to talk about. They're probably being paid to talk about them, probably, right? If they disclose that, then you know that, but if they don't disclose that, I don't know why people don't disclose it. Like, whatever. The fact that they don't disclose it tells us all that they know that it's not okay, right? If you disclose it, then at least you know, like, that there's at least some kind of admission there that you don't have a problem taking money, right? And you don't expect your viewers to have a problem taking money for promoting things. Okay, cool, fine, I can respect that. But if you're not saying it, if you're not disclosing that you're paid to promote something as a YouTuber, as a content creator, as somebody on X.com, if you're not disclosing that, you know then that people would not receive that properly, and you know why, and it's kind of deceitful behavior, and I'm trying to help people avoid being manipulated by this deceitful behavior that is completely rampant in this space. So hit that like button, subscribe, send this video to somebody that might need to see it. Make them watch it, man. Make them watch it, because it's so simple. It's the easiest thing to avoid. Any and all of these projects at the tops, I have called for all of them to go down a tremendous amount. The only one that I was wrong about was IP Store. It did go down, but it didn't go down a whole lot like I thought it would. But it did go down. But it hasn't performed well, right? It hasn't outperformed the average altcoin, right? It's because it's already at the top. The goal is to go from $1 million market cap to $1 billion market cap. If you're already at $1 billion or multiple billions, you're there. You're not going to get to 100 billion. Not in your first cycle. Maybe your second or third cycle. Maybe. But that's for the greats. That's for the greats. Are you the next XRP? Are any of these the next Ethereum? The next Solana? Are they the next USDT? You know what I mean? Like, probably not. Probably not. No, probably not. They're here and there. They're gone in the wind, and that's why the token supply has a lot of tokens unlocked that will get locked, that will get unlocked and only benefit the team, not the investors, right? Because it's not here for a long time. It's here for a short time, and over time, the team will get these unlocks, and even if the project gets hammered, they'll still have something to take profits and move on to the next one. That's what they do. That's what the space does. It's rampant. It's kind of absurd, but that's all I got, you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. Bye-bye.